Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another very exciting episode of What's Up with Wrestling, the Buzztalk podcast. How fucking good was that? I did it perfectly first time. No, we didn't even do another record before this.
I was going to say, should we share a story? Should we tell the listeners a wee little story?
What's the wee story, Jess?
The wee story is that we did about 3 minutes of this podcast about 10 minutes ago, and then the dogs started barking, and we tried to fight through it. We tried with all our might to fight through it.
Yeah.
But you got very annoyed and
Well,
stopped the recording.
I tell you what, we have to, and again, I don't even think the listeners can hear the dogs, but we have to, put up with so much. I can handle some of the dogs, but there's a dog downstairs that squeal barks 24/7 in this building,
Yeah.
and scratches at the door. And like when he started just before, I could not even concentrate.
But you know what? It ended up being a blessing in disguise because in that last podcast, you did mess up the intro a little bit.
And I nailed it this time.
And I called you out on it, but you've upped your game.
And that's
you
the
did
thing.
better.
I tell you what, you did call me out on my bullshit. And,
I did.
And I did do
I
it
did.
better.
I held you accountable
Mhm.
for your actions.
Yeah.
But you took that.
And I used it constructively.
Yeah, and you learned. You didn't get upset. You didn't throw a hissy fit. You didn't cry. You took the feedback. You applied it, and now we're here.
Yeah. We're here, and oh, what a wonderful day it is to be here with you, my beautiful darling Jessica Jackson.
That would be so lovely, but I feel like you're joking.
No.
It sounds
No.
a little bit.
No.
It sounds a little bit.
Come here, you. I'll give you a bloody little kiss. I didn't even actually kiss you. I just made the noise to the microphone, so the fans out there think that I did it.
Well, did we kiss, or was it just a noise? Did we kiss that time, or was that just a noise?
Yeah, they'll never know.
You try and figure it out.
You figure it out. Oh, what are we doing? I don't know.
Let's play a game.
Okay.
Let's play a game for the listeners. Was it a real kiss or was it an air kiss?
Okay.
You ready?
Here's kiss one.
Yeah.
Mwah. Here's kiss two. Slurp.
Here's kiss three.
What? This is a dog drinking from a water bowl. And if you guessed any that there were kisses, you're wrong. You got them all none of them were real. I don't know. Whatever we're doing.
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
Hold
Okay.
your heads down in shame. Shame.
Shame.
Shame. We need a bet. We need a bet.
Shame. Shame. Season 8 was crap. Season 8 was terrible.
That's a little Game of Thrones reference if you didn't know that.
Yeah. Okay, what's up with wrestling, Jessica and or Jackson?
And or.
Yeah.
It's and or, is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it optional, my surname?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, what's up with wrestling this week? We've had 2 shows.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of easy shows, both in Mexico City.
Oh my god, I tell you what, the travel on these shows, bloody chefs kiss. And or kiss.
Do you want to do the kiss?
It leads into it. The chef smooch.
You ready? You ready? The chefs.
Was that real?
Was that real?
It's like we set this bit up, but we did not. How do we do that stuff?
Oh my gosh, man. We're just natural comedians.
Oh fuck you know. Yeah, but anyway, the bloody travel this weekend was fantastic. We just had to get on the metro and go like 30 minutes, and then we were home, and it was amazing.
And beautiful.
I'll tell you what, so the first day we wrestled for Teneblis Jr., and his company is called FULL. FULL.
Oh.
Which means Federation. Oh, actually, I don't remember what it means.
But you know what? Your pronunciation there.
Yeah, I know.
Beautiful.
I can't remember what the U means.
Absolutely.
But there's something.
Beautiful.
It's Federal Union or something. Lucha Libre. I
didn't
actually
even
probably
know that.
have. Oh no, it's Federal Universal, which makes more sense. Lucha Libre.
Oh wow! You know what?
Federation. No, hold on. I got that completely wrong. Federation Universal Lucha Libre. I'm just plugging any words in.
You were like, I nailed it. I nailed it that time. No, wait. Completely wrong.
Just saying random words. Friend Utility Lucha Libre.
Fudge Union Luca Libre.
Zaid. Oh, okay.
No.
Wait, that's not it.
Just completely the wrong words with different letters now.
Yeah. So we wrestled for Teneblis Jr., and it was an event for postal workers in Mexico City.
to celebrate
To celebrate.
Dia del Niño.
Oh, was it? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, but it
Which
was
is
cool.
Day of the Kid, a
Yeah.
holiday that they have here.
Yeah.
You know, I would have loved the Day of the Kid back in England. You
Yeah.
have Mother's Day, you have Father's Day.
Don't have bloody kids.
They don't have
Underrepresented.
I know. It's like, we should be grateful
Mhm.
to be here rather than celebrating the fact that we're in your lives with a day dedicated to us.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna text my mum right now and call her out and say that
Hey.
she owes me 26 years worth of presents for this day.
Yeah. 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 Anyway, it was in a really sick venue. It was in this really nice fucking. There was like statues and shit outside, and there was like a
There's like
banquet hall.
Yeah, it's like a big staircase. Grand. You know, if there's a grand staircase, everyone goes, "Ooh, this is
Ooh.
fancy.
Ooh.
This is a fancy place. There's a
Yeah, it
big
was cool.
staircase."
Yeah, it was cool though. Who did you wrestle? You wrestled.
It was yo y Lolita contra Starfire y Morgana.
Okay. How did it go?
Yeah, it was fine. It was fun. It was good. The
Easy
crowd were
card,
into
yeah.
us. The crowd were cheering for me at the start, but I was heel. And then by the end, they were hard out booing for me. So
Jessica,
I feel like
don't fucking break kayfabe.
I'm so
Just
sorry.
don't say heel and face.
Okay, I am the bad guy in wrestling, but the crowd were cheering for me. But then I was an asshole because I'm an asshole because kayfabe,
Oh yeah.
and I am an asshole.
Yeah.
And so the crowd saw that I was an asshole in real life in this match and ended up not liking me by the end of it. So that was great.
Asshole. You said it so many times. I thought I'd just say another one in there for you.
Asshole.
Speak the microphone. Yeah, no, yeah, it was good. I watched the match. It was fun, and it was just nice because again, there's so many times in Mexico City that like locker rooms and stuff are really really poor quality, no
yeah.
toilets.
Yeah.
And
Oh my
this
gosh.
and this building was like real fancy. So it was like
So fancy.
it was like go to the toilet was like beautiful.
The toilets were at the top of this staircase, this
Yeah.
grand staircase, and the toilets were beautiful. There was like nice posh chairs,
Yeah.
like great big mirrors, nice chandeliers and lights and pretty lampshades and quirky sinks. You know, just
Yeah.
something that is
Quirky.
Yeah, and also to top it all off, toilet seats.
Oh, toilet seats because they don't usually have toilet seats in Mexico.
Toilet seats aren't really a thing here, so you know it's a nice place when there's a toilet seat. Never in my life did I think I would be on a podcast going, I am so grateful
For a
when a
toilet seat.
place has a toilet seat.
Yeah. Yeah, so and then we also just before I get onto my match, we also had one of our friends called Bill Scott. He's an airline pilot.
Yes.
And
for Delta.
for Delta, and he's a photographer as well. And he comes out to Mexico, and he's starting to get immersed in the lucha libre scene and stuff, and take
Yeah,
photos. And
yeah.
he was at an expo this weekend for lucha libre
Yeah.
art and stuff.
So some of his photos were on display.
Yeah, but we got in contact with him, and he came and took a lot of photos with us that will be going up in the coming weeks because we've got a lot of beautiful little, not set up shots at all of us hugging and kissing. Oh,
No, they're real.
Oh, they're real. Yeah,
Tell
yeah,
everybody that they're real.
You're so funny in the instruction. You're like, what should we do? Should we stand up? What should our hands be?
Pretend that you're really happy to
Pretend
see
that
me
you're
because
happy.
you've just won.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. So like, we're really grateful for Bill for coming down, and then we went and yesterday after the show we went out with him, we ate and talked for like fucking 12 hours. It felt like.
Yeah, I think sometimes because we don't always have people to speak very good English with. It's normally just us two hanging out all the time.
Yeah.
So it's great to talk to a third person. And when I talk to a third person who can speak English, as in English is their native language, I just kept going for about 5 hours.
Yep. And you had one beer and you were drunk.
Yes, yes, it did. It did affect me, but I don't think that's a bad thing. I think that's a good thing.
You are on the tabletop in the taco store, in the taco restaurant. You're on the tabletop and you're screaming at the top of your lungs, like, "Come and get this, boys! Check me out!" I don't know.
You are such a liar. That is a lie. That is a lie.
You can tell we're tired of this podcast. The weekend's taking it out.
No, I feel like because we don't drink that often.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that I can just have one or two beers.
Yeah.
and they make me go a little bit kind of lightheaded.
Yeah.
Because I was at a point before a few years ago where I could drink a lot.
You get bloody dozen down, you fucking
Easy.
go
12
straight
points.
to
12 points. Dan.
the
Dan. Dan in a
To the
minute.
bottom or whatever that song is.
I like to drink with Jess because Jess is my mate. And when we drink with Jess, she does it all in 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And then, you count down to
You
one.
drink it,
And
yeah,
that's
I
when
got
you,
you.
yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, I'm well aware.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Anyway, so I also had a match in the show. It was me and fucking hell. Me and who did I wrestle with? Angel Del. Oh, okay. Angel Del Amor. Angel of Love.
That is the one. The Angel of Love, baby.
Versus Hip Hop Man.
Hip Hop Man.
Hip Hop. That's his music.
Yeah,
That's how
it goes Hip Hop Man. Hip Hop Man.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It does actually. Versus Brazo Jr. I'm not sure if he's actually part of the family, but he was pretty good actually. He was really good.
Yeah.
We had a sick match.
You
It was
floored him
really-
with your dive.
I absolutely I tried to wipe him out so hard with that dive. Because he was like, I'll catch you, don't worry. But he was just so confident about it. I was like, oh, are you sure?
Here we go. He was so close to the ring
Yeah,
as
he
well.
was
So you
so
just
close.
wiped him out. I saw how close he was standing and I
'Cause-
saw you running
yeah,
and I
the
thought
way-
this
the
is
way-
not going to be good.
The way we planned it, however the spot finished, Angel was gonna be like clap me to like get me to like dive on him.
Yeah.
But like as he turned to like clap me in, I was already like taking off
You was
running.
already going. You were already going.
And the guy just stood up and I was coming through the ropes. And we went into the barrier. Like he did that noise where it's like and I was like, you okay? And he just didn't say anything. I was like, oh, okay, alright. Somebody check on him. Just laid out on the carpet. No, but it was fun. It was really cool.
And you did a sexy little dance.
I did
during
do
the
a
match.
sexy little dance.
The
That's
crowd
not like me.
loved it.
Yeah, yeah. It was so funny at the end because Angel Del Amor, he's known for like doing a sexy dance. And I think a lot of people have the perceived idea that I'm just a strong style wrestler here. And they don't know that I've done other character work.
They've never seen
They've never-
stupid sexy
They've
Trav
never
before.
seen Stupid Sexy Trav. So like when he was like, oh, I'll do a dance at the start, I was like, oh, you should bring me in and I'll do a dance.
Yeah.
He was like laughing about it. It was like, what, like you want to dance? Like he didn't realize that I could do it. And I was like, yeah, man, yeah. And obviously the crowd, because I'm like a white guy dancing, they were like going crazy.
They were going crazy. Also, you have a particular style of dancing that I've never seen anybody
Nah.
on this earth adopt before.
It's 90% enthusiasm, 10% skill.
It's this weird thing of like your limbs are like robot.
Yep.
It's like you're trying to do the robot with your limbs, but then your hips
Oh, loose.
are loose.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very strange combination.
Yeah, it's called the loose robot.
The loose robot.
It's the wiggly robot. I don't know. Whatever. Who knows? Yeah, but it gets the bloody crowd going. And when he did that, and then at the end of the match when we won, he did that crawl on the ground. And I was like, oh, I'll fucking show you. And I was like, he got to the back and he was like, I didn't realize you could do that. He was like laughing so much.
The crowd was screaming
Yeah, I
when you
know.
did that. I was in a mindset of, that's my boyfriend up there, that
Yeah.
is. That's,
Look at him.
that's love
Look
of
at
my
him.
life.
Look at
There
him.
he goes.
Look at him in all his glory.
Look at him go.
Just be up there.
I can't, if you've never seen Trav dance before, I can't even express to you what his dancing is. It's always the same, but it's such a weird way to move your body.
Yeah, that's the funniest part about it. Get off me! No. Yeah, so that was a good show. Yeah.
That was pretty fun. And then the next day we were at a Chevrolet car sales place, and there was just a ring outside, and we did a match.
Oh, fuck it.
We had a show there.
As is Mexico, man. As is Mexico. The day before, we're in a banquet hall, fucking
Real
hundreds of
nice.
people. The
Great
next day, we're
crowd.
outside of Chevrolet bloody motor
In
showroom
Iztapalapa.
in Iztapalapa.
So yeah.
Travel was easy, so that was alright.
Again, Metro, easy,
Mhm.
great. You know?
And yeah, and the matches were
Yeah, they were fine.
fine. And then we went, as we said before, we went with Bill for
Yeah.
some tacos.
My match was very much just what it needed to be.
Yeah.
And like, had it have been in a better arena, I
Yeah.
definitely could have, because the ring was a bit dodgy as well. It was randomly slippy,
Yeah.
even though
Oh,
it was
yeah.
canvas. So I had a match with Sadika, and I like Sadika a lot. And she is hard hitting, and that's what I like. And I think she got like, because we have similar styles, so I think she's kind of excited to
You
wrestle.
look bruise on your jaw.
I've got a bruise on my jaw. I don't know how I got that.
Yeah.
Maybe from her
Ass.
stink face.
Okay, I'm gonna say this on the podcast. In Mexico, they call a stink face just stinky.
They just go
They
stinky.
just go stinky.
I do stinky.
I do stinky.
I do stinky here.
Fuck. I've been saying it all day.
All day. He's just been going stinky. Stinky.
I do stinky. What? Are you sure? You fucking baby. I do a big stinky. What are you talking about? How have they got to that? Oh, it's so funny.
Oh, that's so funny. You've just been like a child all day walking around going stinky, stinky, stinky.
So the show was fine, and I wrestled Juventud Guerrera, WCW fucking lucha libre icon.
Yeah.
The juicy one.
Juice.
Yeah. So if you are a WCW fan, I'm sure you will understand how cool that is.
Yeah. And then also Pirata Morgan.
Oh, I also wrestled Pirata Morgan, which is cool.
Because he's a big legend here.
Yeah, he's a big legend here as well. And I'll tell you about him. I might have said it on another podcast, to be honest. But he did a tope one time in a match, and he dove into the crowd, and a chair leg broke and went into his eye. And he has an eye patch. Now, we're not sure, and we've been debating, did he get the name Pirata Morgan before that or after that event?
You need to Google it.
I'm going to Google
Can you Google it right now?
Yeah, I'm going to Google
Are you going to Google, or can I Google it?
I'll Google.
Okay.
I'll give it a Google.
Okay, well, I'll carry on talking about my match with Sadika then.
Okay.
Because I feel like it was just what it needed to be for that ring in that arena. Outside of car dealership on the street. It's just what it needed to be. But I feel like if we were to have a singles match in a bigger arena or bigger show, then it would be more hard hitting. It would be more of a complex match.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the synopsis to his life.
Okay.
Pirata Morgan has been a member of the trio Los Infernales from the mid 80s to the mid 90s, and as part of the group, he was 1/3 of the first Mexican national trios champions and CMLL World Trios champions. He was also the founder of the group Los Bucaneros, teaming with other members who all used a pirate ring persona. In 1981, Ortiz suffered an injury during a match where he lost his right eye and has wrestled wearing an eye patch ever since.
So he had like the pirate persona.
I think so. Isn't that, if that is the case?
That's incredible.
Yeah. If that's the case, how is that is insane? Like that it would just be like, he's a pirate and he loses an eye. Like, the fuck?
Some things in life are just meant to be.
It might not have been. It might have all came about. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'll figure it out. I'll ask somebody else. So yeah, so those were the shows that we did. What else?
I think that's it. Ready? We've got a show on Tuesday.
A show on Tuesday.
Yeah, at Paseo El Grande. With Lobo Negro. That is the actual Dia del Nino on Tuesday. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. It's me being heady, isn't it?
Yes. And Drago's on the show as well.
He's in my match.
Yeah, and the original Drago.
The original Drago. So so that's us up to date with our wrestling stuff.
Yeah. So Travis.
Oh, okay.
Travis.
Yes.
Let's move on to some more serious stuff, shall we?
Oh, fuck. Okay.
No. I want to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Because Travis and I in our day-to-day lives talk a lot about wrestling. And Travis is on the receiving end of a lot of questions from myself. So I actually thought it would be a good idea to share with the listeners your viewpoints. Share those questions with them that I asked to you, and then you can share your knowledge.
I wasn't prepared for this, but okay.
Well, one of the things that I remember talking about, and I even said, we should talk about this on the podcast, was I think the problem with wrestling today about one of the very first things that I learned in wrestling was making your partner look good. Yet a lot of people, that seems to be lost on a lot of people now. So, my question is centered around that. What do you think some of the biggest problems and challenges are in wrestling today when it comes to things like that?
Oh man, I don't like. I'm not gonna be able to collate my thoughts very well on this. Like, I'm just gonna bounce around a little bit. But I think like again, I'm not sure because it just seems to me today in this. I don't want to be that person that's like today's style is bloody too fast and blah and blah. But I don't think it's exactly that. I think there isn't enough time given. Like for me personally, like I knew finding myself in the ring was going to be a long process and a long journey.
Yeah.
And I think like early on with like a lot of like young wrestlers, especially here in Mexico, they all try and find a gimmick like right out the gate. Like I need to be a pirate. I need to be a this, and I need
Yeah.
to fucking go out there and go or whatever the gimmick is. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And like for me personally, it was like learning wrestling first because you have the time to, especially when you're young, you have the time to do it,
Yeah.
to go out and get the training from better trainers and wrestle in places that are hard and difficult, and you put yourself through like difficult scenarios and stuff like that. And then eventually when you actually learn and you get confident in the ring, you start developing yourself and what gimmick you would fit with your style naturally,
Yeah.
not something that you're trying to force, right? And then with that set, then as you get more experience, you start like leaning into a style, right?
Yeah.
And it can be from anything. Like for me, I loved Benoit, and I know that's fucking crazy to say because everybody's like, "Oh, you can't fucking talk about him," but he was like my favorite when I like grew up because and the reason that I liked him was because he looked like a hard worker, and he looked like he was giving everything to those matches.
Yeah.
And then when I actually got into wrestling, I liked Loki and AJ Styles and Kenta, those more like grounded kind of martial arts based wrestlers. And that was kind of the style that I wanted to adopt. But I knew that I couldn't like just do it straight out the gate. I had to learn everything properly first before I applied it. And for me, cultivating a particular style was important because I don't remember who told me this like earlier. It might have been Jonathan Gresham, to be honest. He was talking about a clash of styles in terms of like what made like old school Ring of Honor so interesting was like, well, not even Ring of Honor, like TNA, like just old school wrestling was like, what would happen if, you know, like Samoa Joe wrestled Loki? Like that's an interesting matchup because there's a big guy and he's a small guy,
Yeah.
or what happened if like Daniel Bryan, American technical wrestler, wrestled uh, Nigel McGuinness, who's a British technical wrestler. Like those were like clashes of styles. Like what would happen if these guys wrestled each other?
Yeah.
And that's an interesting concept.
Yeah.
And like and anything, even like way back in the day, what if Andre the Giant wrestled fucking Coco,
Yeah.
or Hulk Hogan? Like,
Yeah.
what is that interesting matchup? But now what I find, and I don't want to be that person that's like everybody does the same shit. I'm not talking like that. Nobody tries to find a particular style. Like, there's only a
This is how I wrestle.
This is how I wrestle. There's only a particular few guys that I can think off the top of my head that have cultivated a particular style. Like Zack Sabre Jr. is one. That's a particular way of wrestling. And what happens if like I wrestle him?
You know,
Complex
if you see a Zack Sabre Jr. match, you know that you're going to see a more technical
based match. Exactly. He can still do everything in like he can still keep up with like say like a big falsy match like me. But like, what if like we wrestled each other? Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Can I
Yeah.
keep up with him? And that's how
Yeah.
we tell interesting stories as well. Like I'm not saying I'm the fucking like I'm just speaking from experience here. When I wrestled him, I remember like we firmly had it in our mind. I was more of the striker. He was obviously more of the technician. So we kind of planned it without really talking because we actually didn't call that much.
Yeah.
That he was gonna out wrestle me and I was gonna outstrike him.
Yeah.
Now we've told an interesting story. We didn't
Yeah.
even have to fucking like bang it over people's head. People just know that.
Is it a case of like, say today, say, for example, I'm also a little bit kind of like you. I'm more of a striker. In my style, that's a style that I like. Not so much kicks,
Yeah.
but more upper body strikes, right?
Okay.
So, in a sense, then if I was to plan a match with somebody, that say for example say we were having a match.
Okay.
Your kicks are stronger than mine.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't just plan a spot that's like we're just kicking each other. I would allow you to beat me down essentially with the kicks.
Well, again, it's all dependent on what you're telling in the exact moment. But okay, for example, if I wrestled Mike Bailey, which I have, and we like did a trade off, he's clearly in that trade off, in that one moment, probably going to come out on top of me with his kicks.
Yeah.
He's a champion fucking Taekwondo guy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fucking like, and I guess that's to your point as well, like putting people over. Like
Yeah.
you have to think, how can I make this person to the best of their abilities look great? Mike Bailey's a fucking kicker.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let him do all his cool kicks on me and out fucking shine me with his kicks.
Do you think that's lost in today's wrestling?
Well, so I guess coming back to my original point, I think again I could be wrong. I don't fucking care to be honest, but like I think a lot of people, and it's nothing to do with these guys because they're exceptional at what they do, but a lot of people like Osprey and Ricochet like changed the game.
Yeah.
They changed the game for a lot of guys that were like smaller as well, and guys that could flip and do everything. And I think when people started seeing those types of matches come out, and obviously some of us were like following suit as well,
Yeah.
it like goes down and it gets lost. Like people start copying them, but they can't actually do it as good as those guys.
Yeah.
So then they're just copying. I literally saw at IWIG one time two young guys in the opening match watching Will Ospreay versus Ricochet on their phone, and they just did the exact same opening spot that they did from New Japan, from the Best of the Super Juniors.
Yeah.
And I was like, they don't even know
Why
are they doing that, or
Yeah.
what the thought process between
Yeah.
Ospreay and Ricochet was. Like they're just looking at those moves and copying it, and that's the thing. I think people just want to do like, and I hate to use this term, but like video game wrestling. I think they just want to do move for move and do cool moves. When I don't think a lot of people these days, a lot of the younger wrestlers are taught that connection with the audience is going to make those moves bigger. So, like, for example, like I always say this in my classes, if you can make a match at the beginning of your match look real, like you're wrestling like a little strong and you're
Yeah.
like talking on a little bit of the holds, you like being a little like dirty, like fish hooking people, or like, and you get into a little bit of like, it looks rough and it looks real.
Yeah.
Then when we get to the back end falsies of like a moonsault or a shooting star, if the people have already believed it up front, they're gonna fucking believe the falsies way more at the back.
And you know that you notice that with 80s British wrestling. Whenever I've watched 80s British wrestling,
Yeah.
So I was because Marty Jones sends me a lot of his matches,
Yeah.
or World of Sport matches to watch, and you'll see so much technical wrestling that when it comes to the end of a round,
Yeah.
they'll do one big spot where someone will take a spill to the outside,
And the crowd go crazy.
and the crowd
So-
go crazy.
So on that point, that's kind of like, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't want to be that person that's like, back in the day, they used to do it better. I'm
Yeah.
taking that same concept
Yeah.
from back then, but fucking like putting it into a new school mentality.
Mhm.
Make it look real, make it look a little rough, and the wrestling's like, oh fuck, are these guys actually like wrestling or like fighting or they're
Yeah.
actually angry at each other, like a big chop, big strike, something like that. And then at the back end, they're gonna fucking believe all the cool stuff that we do.
Yeah.
Way more. They'll still pop for a shooting star press anytime.
Yeah.
But you can fucking make them believe that that's gonna fucking
Like
finish
get
the dude.
up out of their
Yeah,
seats and go.
So,
wild.
so like again, it's one of those things of just like, I wish people would like spend a little more time trying to fucking like cultivate their style instead of trying to just do every single thing. Like it's okay just to be one thing in wrestling, or like as Zack Sabre Jr. just corner that market and something. If you excel at that fucking like part of it,
Do you think social media and people seeing clips of matches or training sessions, do you think that has an impact on wrestling today? Because people will just see, oh, this is cool, and try and copy it rather than understanding what's gone into it and wanting to learn and get better for get better over the long term.
Yeah.
They don't actually try and do that. What they do is copy. Do you think this is what happens. That they try and copy these spots so they get kind of this short-term buzz
Yeah,
without actually,
learning the craft.
yeah, exactly. That's it.
Well, yeah, it's hard because I have had actual like wrestlers come up to me and be like, "Can we do this spot?" And it'll be
Yeah,
like somebody else's match, and
yeah,
I'll be like, "Well, tell me what you want to do out of the spot, and we'll
yeah.
make it make sense." And
Okay.
again, I've said this a bunch of times, but I don't want to be the old head of like, "That doesn't bloody make sense, kid." Because I like fucking when people want to do crazy creative stuff.
Yeah, and
I
come
just
to you
want
with
to, yeah, I
ideas.
just want to put it in somewhere that will actually be like maximize the most effectiveness of it.
Yeah,
So like yeah, it is like short-term gain, but here's the thing, and this is the thing that I always think about. It's like, but this is how wrestling is now. So we have to find a way of like using that. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like this is just how it is now.
yeah,
You are going to get clips, and that's how you get eyes on you and how you can self promote and stuff like that. So this is the new piece of wrestling that we have to kind of like mold into and like and figure out. So
yeah,
like I don't think it's a bad thing, and more people get to see us do cool things. But
yeah,
like I my hope would be that like people genuinely try and learn the actual art, not art, the meaning behind why they're doing what they're doing,
yeah,
and realize that maybe cultivating a style or a brand or working on that sort of stuff will actually get you closer in connecting with the audience than just fucking copying somebody else's moveset.
To be honest, it's always reassuring for me to hear you talk about this because, as I said to you before, I don't like doing really flippy stuff. I don't want to do moonsaults. I don't want to do any rope work or anything like that. But you see so many people doing that today that I feel this pressure of, oh, this is what I need to do in order to be viewed as good.
Yeah, but the thing is, I can do a lot of the stuff in training. Like I
Yeah,
can do all that stuff, but I don't,
yeah,
and I don't want to because that doesn't get me over. To see the way that I've cultivated the way that I perceive myself to be in wrestling is kind of like Ben Wyatt in a sense of like just angry, aggressive wrestler. There's that. Why would I fucking flip on somebody? You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, and again, I'm not against flipping. I'm just saying, why would I particularly like flip
yeah,
on somebody when I can like suplex them or strike them or whatever, right? So I don't need to do that. And a lot of people here in Mexico, and you know this as well, that they go, you need to do this, you need to do this, you need to do a fucking running head scissors, you
yeah,
need to do a fucking Canadian destroyer. Dude, I don't need to do any of that. I mean, I do Canadian sometimes, but like, I don't need to do that because I can get over with my moveset here in
yeah,
Mexico, which I have done 1,000
yeah,
times. Like, why now am I all of a sudden going to start doing moonsaults?
yeah,
Like, it's proven that I can get over it in Mexico, in Lucha Libre, with my moveset. And if I just apply a little bit of logic to my matches, and I heard Steve Carino say this once, just apply logic in Mexico and you'll get over. I just had that in my head the whole time. If
yeah,
my matches make sense, then the people
yeah,
will get behind it, and they have. And I don't need to do a fucking Canadian 450, fucking 300 runner off the top rope. You know what I mean? It's
yeah.
just it's neither hit like wrestling's. It's that's not what it's about, and I don't think anybody would expect a white girl in Mexico to do those things either.
Well, I always, as you know, I will see clips of things on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, and it'll be a big cool move, and I'll think, oh, I need to be able to do things like that in order to be, as I said before, viewed as a good wrestler. Um, but you always say it's not about the moves; it's about the match.
It's about the like how you it's like so like you can do a cool move. That's fine. But like put it in a place that fucking really means something,
Yeah,
you know? But like don't just fucking do a powerbomb at the start of the match. Like save it for something desperate in the back end,
yeah,
you know? Or whatever it is. It doesn't I'm just using it as an example, but like there's this like and again I don't want to keep repeating myself, but like I don't want to be that old head like don't do a bloody fucking Canadian. You can if it's in the best if it's in like the
you
coolest
work it
spot,
well. Yeah,
the best
yeah,
spot. Like if you're like fucking riding some sick momentum, like as a face, and you're really on fire, then you hit a Canadian, the crowd's gonna fucking blow the roof off. You
yeah.
know?
I just think it's really good because there is um, I think a culture of seeing all of these cool moves and stuff, on Instagram and putting up clips of matches and videos, and the match itself could have been terrible, but you see a clip and you go, "Oh, that's really cool." And then because I, have not done these particular kind of moves before, or that's not really my style, I then feel personally for me, and I don't know if any other wrestlers feel like that, but personally for me, as you know, I feel worried that, oh, people not going to think that I'm a good wrestler because none of this stuff is really what I want to do or my style, and I've never really done it before. So
But like again, look at the top guys, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes on the TV right now. That's why I
yeah,
saw them. Um, all those guys, they don't do crazy stuff. They just put the moves in the right place. You don't have to. And then that's the thing. I think a lot of guys these days, like yourself, feel like they have to fucking do this, and a lot more people are getting injured as well.
yeah,
And again, like it's, if you can do it, you do the stuff, do it. I don't care. But like, everyone just feels this pressure of having to be super athletic. Like, and it's just like, yeah, but also you've got to learn in that timing, and get more
yeah,
experience and when to put the moves in and stuff. So like, I would never ever stress myself out about like having to do cooler moves or anything like that. I mean, do the coolest move that you can to the best of your ability. You know,
yeah,
I was always, and Pete and Tyler and all those guys when I first got to the UK, we all kind of had the same thought process of like, let's just do everything.
yeah.
In a sense of like, let's do the coolest thing possibly that we can
That you can do.
actually do,
Yeah,
not fucking actually try shitty things that we're not.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you know.
Like really dangerous stuff. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
just like, let's fill our matches up with as many cool moves that we have
Cool,
to
like
do.
not just cool moves, like cool sequences,
Yeah.
cool moments. Fuck my headphones. What's wrong? I hope that's not coming through. Doesn't matter. I don't know if I turn these off, will it like stop the recording?
Let's see. This is going to be make or break.
Keep going. Yeah, I think we're okay.
We're okay.
If there's a little break there, it should.
We're really sorry about it.
Yeah, because my headphones were like running out, and I turned them off, and I think it stopped the recording. But I think we're good.
We're
Good.
back. We're back
It
anyway.
doesn't matter.
Don't panic.
Don't worry
We're
about
here.
it.
We're here.
Listen to
So,
the audio is fine.
um, so I'm glad we had that little Q&A
Mhm.
because I find when I talk to you and ask you these questions, I find it really educational,
Yeah.
informative for me, and also reassuring.
Yeah.
So I just thought it's really great for you to be able to share that with other people listening and who might who want to learn. I know some people have said we listen to the podcast to learn from you, to hear your opinions on things. So I thought it was a good
Get out the
opportunity.
business. That's my number one course. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, cool. Shall we move on to some questions?
Yeah,
We haven't done some questions in a while.
let's do some questions.
So question number one from Geoff.
Oh,
Jeff.
cool.
A good friend, Geoff.
Yeah.
How often do you work out? How often do you? Sorry, I didn't say it into the microphone. How often do you work out?
How do you? No. It really depends. So, I'll give you two examples. If we have a week where we're not wrestling, then we tend to hit more wrestling training sessions.
Yeah. Let me put my headphones on charge, please.
Okay, I'll answer this one whilst Travis is away. So, let's say we have a week off from wrestling. Normally in that week we'll tend to work out probably 5 times a week, maybe 6 times a week, really depending on how our body's feeling. And that also goes with how many wrestling training sessions that we do. So, for example, last week we didn't have any shows. We worked out 5 days, but we also did 3 wrestling training sessions and we were broken. It was a lot. So that's an example week, but because we don't have wrestling, any shows, we've got more time. We've got a couple days to recover. So it's a little bit easier to fit in more workouts or more wrestling training sessions. But say, for example, this week, we've had 2 shows. So we worked out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We had Thursday off weight training. We had shows Friday, Saturday, and then we worked out today. So we've worked out 4 times this week. But also within that, we did one wrestling training session on Wednesday night, and we did a wrestling training session on Thursday as well. So even though on Thursday we had a rest from the gym because our bodies were feeling really sore, we still did a rest and training session. So it really just kind of depends, but I always say my minimum the minimum number of days that I like to work out is 4 days a week. Normally like 2 leg days, 2 upper body days. So yeah, I think that's pretty much that covered, don't you think?
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Do you have any insight? I think
The only thing insight that I would say is just like when it comes to wrestling days, our diets go out the window for training. Like we're trying to me at the moment I'm trying to put on weight. When it comes to a wrestling day, my diet is just it's hard to get the calories in, especially when you're traveling and you can only eat it like OXO food, like service station food.
yeah, it's not even so much the calories, it's the protein. It's really hard to get the protein in if you're only going to OXO. If you're getting tacos or something, it's not so bad. But it is hard just to get all the protein that you need in on resting days. It's really difficult. Which then also can really impact your recovery as well. So if we have a long wrestling show and it's a long travel, say on a Saturday, and we get back at 7 a.m. on a Sunday, even though we've got the day off on a Sunday, our gym closes at 2 and we are beaten up and we need a rest. So it's most likely that we then take that Sunday off completely, maybe just go for a couple-hour walk.
Yeah, we just walk down the canal if we need to
Yeah,
on a rest day.
maybe go get a Starbucks,
Get stuff.
do our shopping or something like
Yeah.
that. So that's about it, really. I think it's just important. I think the more that we wrestle, and the more that we train, we've been working out real hard at the moment, like 2 hour workouts, a lot of volume. So we've been feeling really sore. So it's just really important that we take those rest days
Mm.
to heal, to recover, and that when we're not wrestling, that our diet's on point. Because when it's not, I feel it so bad.
All right, moving on to the next question
Go.
from our friend Scorpion.
Oh,
Ty.
hey man.
Hey, dude. Thoughts on the Bryan Danielson Osprey match? You didn't watch it, did you?
No, I didn't watch it. I haven't watched it. You've watched it.
Yeah, I watched it.
So do you want to run through your thoughts?
I don't. I don't really know what else to say really. Like everything it's all kind of been said. Like it was a great match, fantastic match. Like I don't know. Like I'm not into the star stuff, the star rating stuff. Everyone's like
Yeah.
whatever they're talking about. Oh, it was a fucking this star greatest match of all time or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe for this era it could have been one of the greatest matches, but I don't know if it's the greatest match of all time. It was definitely good, one of the best matches I've ever seen in a while. Um, but the finish was a little abrupt.
Okay.
But
How come?
I don't know. Usually I guess maybe that's just because I like watching the twists and turns of an Osprey match, and that was kind of just
It's more of a direct finish, was
more
it?
of a direct finish. Again, that's more preference than fucking anything wrong with the match.
What was the finish? If you could tell me.
I don't remember exactly, but it was like he stacked him with that Tiger driver,
Okay.
and then he just and then like Daniel Bryan was like hurt, like selling his neck.
Yeah.
Because it did look devastating, and then he gave him the hidden blade for the finish.
Okay.
So it was good. Again, I'm not really into that star rating stuff. Like I don't care. Like I know this has been said everywhere, but like Kurt Angle's never had a 5-star match according to fucking Dave Meltzer. And I just this might go into a rant about Dave Meltzer, but I just think that people like him kind of really take the fucking fun, take the joy out of wrestling when he's like reviewing matches, because then everybody gets angry about it. If you look online, the discourse about wrestling and that match in particular is so fucking disgusting at the moment between AEW fans and WWE. And this is the shit I don't think people want. We want people just to enjoy wrestling. And I don't think fucking Daniel Bryan and Osprey went out there fucking hoping that the fucking world would be set on fire by fucking Dave Meltzer's fucking star
Scores.
rating.
I think the reason why a lot of us are in wrestling, it's because we remember the magic of it when we're kids watching it and the excitement. And then when you start wrestling, I remember my first trainer, he said to me, once you start wrestling, you'll never watch wrestling in the same way again. And it's true, because you learn so much that it changes the way that you view wrestling. Fans shouldn't view wrestling the way we do. They should still be able to feel the magic. They should still be able to enjoy every match. whether to a wrestler it's a good match or a bad match. Like I remember as a kid, I wouldn't know what a bad match was. And to me, I was just invested in the characters. I was invested in the wrestlers themselves. So you could say to me, "Oh, this match at WrestleMania was bad," but all that I have in my memory as a kid is being really excited because my favorite wrestler won.
Yeah.
That's I know this is a kid, and as you're an adult, you can tell these things more. But I still think that you shouldn't be out as a fan. You don't need to go. This is a 5-star match because of this person sold really well. I think you should go. This is
Well,
a great match because my favorite wrestler won.
well, I listened to that fucking. I don't remember who was interviewing Dave about his star rating system, and he literally couldn't give an answer as to how it worked.
Yeah,
And like hearing that, you just realize, oh, this is shit.
it's just
It's
subjective.
just, well, it
It's
wasn't even.
complete.
But the thing was, for him, it wasn't even subjective. I mean, it is subjective, but he didn't even know himself what his rating system was based on. He couldn't even give a straight answer about it. And I'm not like calling him out for it because it's whatever. He's made his own fucking work out of wrestling. So he just had no criteria for it. And like he was like for me, Shawn Michaels versus Taker at WrestleMania 25 is one of the greatest matches I've ever watched it. And he doesn't think it's 5 star. And when he was asked about it, he couldn't even give it like a straight answer. And it's like, well, what the fuck were you watching, dude?
I
Like
think, I mean, when it comes to anything that is purely kind of subjective, anything can dictate it. So he could be in a bad mood that day and go, "Oh, wrestling shit today."
well, that's what he was saying. He was going like, I just didn't really feel like it connected. Like, what do you talk? Everybody in that building felt like it connected.
Yeah,
Like, you won't. If he was in the room, maybe he would have. I don't know. It was
but
like the same. It was the same though. Like Kurt Angle versus Benoit, which is from Royal Rumble 2003, was like one of my favorite matches of all time,
yeah,
and that's not 5 stars. But like I've watched it 1,000 times.
yeah.
Why is that not considered one of the best matches of all
The
time?
thing
Like,
is, if you're sitting in your living room by yourself watching TV with a can of beer, then you're probably not gonna fully feel the atmosphere. But if it was you were there live with everyone experiencing it and really getting into the forces, then
yeah.
it's different. Maybe for someone like Meltzer, he attends more indie shows
Well,
than big
yeah.
shows,
Well, he
and
does. Like he used to go to PWG a lot, and I don't remember the exact match. It was like Osprey, might have been Ricochet and Seidel versus the Young Bucks and somebody.
yeah,
And I remember seeing the clip, watching the highlight. Incredible match, obviously. Crowd's going fucking ballistic. And I think I might have this wrong, but like everybody's like chanting 5 stars at Dave at the end, and he kind of like puts his thumbs up.
yeah,
And then I think he did give them five
yeah.
stars, but it was like,
Well, of
well,
course,
well, you're kind of pressured to give them 5 stars,
yeah,
even if you didn't think it. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like again, it was a great match, but like but yeah, I don't know, man. Back to the match anyway. Like, I don't want to fucking talk about it because he annoys the shit out of me. Because again, I've told you this 1,000 times, Jess. But like, my run as progress champ, I put a lot of fucking effort into it and a lot of like thought about my matches and
Yeah,
really put my body on the line to like entertain people. And I don't want to make this a woe is me victim story, but a lot of the reviews that here's the thing, because I was really fucking messed up in the head at the time. I was reading a lot of reviews about myself and those reviews ruined the joy of professional
yeah,
wrestling for me. So firsthand, feeling that, I just don't give a fuck about his star system
yeah.
or his fucking PWI 500 bullshit list.
Yeah, I think as a wrestler, it's important not to put your value
Yeah,
into an opinion, even if it's quote unquote an important opinion in wrestling or
but
someone
again,
who's been in the business for a
yeah,
while. Well,
just so we can get
Uh, um, yeah, I don't think you should be putting your value into anybody's opinion realistically, you
to the mic.
know. Um, so I don't know. I feel like it's kind of bred a little bit of a toxic culture of people thinking that opinions like that are important, and if you get a 5-star match and you're the best wrestler in the world, sometimes it might even breed an ego. I'm not sure. I'm not. I'm not
It's
sitting here
yeah.
criticizing. That's not what I'm trying to do. Um,
It's not even that, Jess. It's not that. What I've seen firsthand that fucking wrestlers are wrestling for reviewers.
yeah,
And I've seen young wrestlers fucking like killing themselves to get noticed by fucking people like that.
Yeah.
And like that's wrong. It's not what the business is about. The business is about connecting with the fans that are there that have
Yeah.
paid money to fucking see you.
Yeah.
And if you're wrestling for a fucking clip online or fucking somebody's review or star system or something like that, then like it's not right. And it's the thing, you know, like people like go
Yeah.
like, well, Roman Reigns doesn't have a fucking 5-star match because he sucks or whatever. It's like that's bro, he's like fucking the biggest box office
Yeah.
draw fucking in the last era.
Yeah.
Like he's made the most money. That's
Yeah.
what the business is about. Can you draw money? Can you draw eyes to the fucking product? Can you fucking sell tickets? That's what it's about. Like it's not about fucking getting these reviews. The like the person draws the fans to the match.
Yeah.
The fucking if it's a sick match, that's just fucking extra and awesome.
Yeah.
Because then you're like, it's like paid off. Oh, I'm excited for this match. And then they have a sick match. You're like, oh fuck, that was great.
Yeah.
So you need it all. You need the fucking pageantry and the fucking storylines to draw you to the match, and then the fucking match hooks you, and then you want to go. I want to fucking keep watching matches. So then you're almost like selling another ticket to the next match.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I get fucking pissed off with this stuff, and like it's not Dave's fault. Dave's just doing his own business, but people have taken this and fucking like ran with it, and just literally you look into the comment section of any wrestling thing about fucking any wrestling thing at all at the moment, AEW or WWE, and the fans are just fucking melting down about this shit, and it's like you're just ruining. This is like the fucking fun's being taken out of it.
It feels like that. It feels like the fun's being taken out of it for not just for the fans but for wrestlers as well. Like you said, you know, you could have a great match and then go online and read a review that's negative and it really kind of upset you, and then all of a sudden take the joy
Yeah.
and tarnish the memory that you've got.
Yeah. Like yeah, well I've told you that before. Like there's sometimes I had sick matches, really fucking happy with them, and I've read one review and it's like ruined my like perception of that
Yeah.
match. No, the fucking real thing is how those fans reacted. Remember
Yeah.
that part of
Yeah.
it. You need to remember that part, not what people write online.
I think it's one of those things of everybody knows that not to put value into people's opinions online. And you probably tell yourself, I'm not going to look. I'm not going to look. But it's kind of like a horror film. You can't, a lot of people, and myself included a lot of the time, you can't help but look. Because I don't know if it's you're trying to look for some kind of validation or you're looking for a good comment or whatever. But you look and it actually ultimately makes things a lot worse.
We gotta fucking wrap it up. Anyway, so my thoughts on the match.
Good.
Good job, boys. Hats
Great.
off to you. Fucking have a beer. Fucking chill out. Fucking and fucking take your flowers or whatever the fucking kids are saying these days. I don't know.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
kids.
So thanks for listening. This has been the fucking 12th episode of
12th
What's Up
episode
with
now.
Wrestling.
It's been a little bit, we need to be a bit more regular again.
Oh well, we were busy this weekend.
We were.
We weren't last week, and we had the week off, so we could have like put up another one. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Check us out on Instagram, like, comment, share, and if you're on Spotify, leave a bloody star review or whatever the fuck it is. Speaking of star reviews, leave a fucking good star review on there because it helps us out with
Subscribe to us on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube.
yeah, and do all that stuff and fucking just awesome. Yeah.
Great way to wrap
It's
things up.
fucking awesome,
Just what a 5-star wrap
Yeah.
up.
And just one last thing right before we go.
Yeah.
Stinky. All right, guys.
Bye.
Bye.